so easy. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to have a look at how to make and sew the felt Christmas tree. Let's have a look at the equipment that you'll need first of all. You will need to download the instructions, the pattern for the felt and the template for making the cardboard form for the tree. There's a link for that so that you know where to download those items. You'll also need a marker, a craft knife, some good scissors and a ruler. And of course you'll need a big stack of cardboard. Nothing special needed here, you can just use some cardboard boxes you've reclaimed, or if you like you can make it with a foam core board which you can get from craft shops. So I'm going to show you how to make the smaller one because that's going to be easier to show on the camera. But you will need one small, two medium and one large in order to assemble your tree. And in each case it gives you here the dimensions that you will need for cutting your cardboard. So for the small it says I need an 8-inch base. So I've cut myself an 8-inch square of cardboard. It also tells us that the edge of the base needs to be 1.5 inches wide. So I've drawn along each of the four sides a line which is 1.5 inches in, and that creates a square in the centre, and we need to cut out this square. So take your craft knife and ruler, align it along the central lines of this square and score, and continue doing that around until you've cut through this centre. Be very careful obviously to protect your surface underneath. Use a proper cutting board or a hard surface that won't be damaged by scoring through. So now cut out this central part. So I've now cut through the centre with my craft knife and I can pop this central part out, and I now have the base. This is going to be the base of the top of the tree, the small part of the triangle. It's now time for us to move on to making these triangles. So if I take another piece of card, the base on the triangle is going to be 8 inches. So I can just use my square to mark off 8 inches. Okay, so this will be the base of my triangle. The instructions also tell me that the height of the triangle is 8 3/4 inches. So taking my ruler, if I know that this is 8, I will find my central part, which is 4, and from here I need to make 8 3/4 inches tall. So I will draw up a line, 8 3/4 inches just here. And now I can use the ruler to form my triangle. So it will be 8 inches at the base and 8 3/4 inches tall. Lovely. And now exactly the same as you did before with cutting the base, we're going to score through here with the craft knife, following the lines on the outside of the triangle only, not through the centre. And as we score deeper and deeper, eventually we can cut through this triangle. Once you've cut out one triangle, you'll use this one as a template on your cardboard and draw around it to cut out 3 other identical ones. So once you have your base and your 4 triangles cut out, if you put them out like this, and you'll notice that obviously the base of the triangle now is equal distance, or pretty much about, depending on how accurate your cutting was, to the side of the base here. So get yourself some parcel tape, the clear, the brown, whatever you have is absolutely fine. Pull off some strips, and we need to make some hinges. So I'm just going to pop some tape over here. Again, accuracy on this project is not super important because the cardboard is all going to be covered up by the felt afterwards anyway, and people will be oohing and aahing about your felt tree with all the decorations and not really looking too hard at this cardboard base, which they won't even see. So don't worry too much if things don't line up 100% accurately, that's all going to be fine. So add on some tape. These will form our hinges. And once that is lined in place, we now bring up all of these sides in towards the centre, and we'll need to tape again around these bottom edges. This will give it a little bit more straight, because at the moment it's still all a little bit floppy. So a bit more tape around all 4 of these. Okay, so now all of our hinges are in place and they're taped inside and out, so our triangle can stand up. So now that we have it like this, if you push all of the sides pretty much evenly, depending on how thick your cardboard is, they may fit a little better in places than others. I've got really thick cards, so they're not going to form a very sharp corner here because the sides are going to be quite thick because of the cardboard. So now you just take a few smaller pieces and we're just going to tape this in position. So I found it best when assembling the triangle to use some small pieces of tape just temporarily. Let me peel off a few. So I'm just going to put a few pieces of tape to hold it in place. A few creases, again that's not going to matter. And once I've got it even in shape, then I can go on to add the larger pieces. Happy with the shape that I've got. That's just fine. So now I'll take the larger pieces and just wrap them over these corners. Again, you can see accuracy and neatness really isn't that important. If you want to take your time and get something really nice, of course you can. This frame will all be hidden later on, so you don't need to worry too much. And just fold over any bits at the top. So once you have your pyramid here completed, you'll have your hole in the base, the sides, everything all taped together, and this is our small one. You'll need to make a medium one exactly the same and a large one exactly the same, and then when you also make the second medium one, you'll leave the base uncut, so there'll be no need to cut a hole for the second medium one. And now we will assemble them and make our tree. Now that you have all of your pieces made up, assembling it is really easy. We're going to start with the base. This one here is the one that doesn't have the hole cut in the bottom, so this is going to be the base of our tree. Next up comes the larger one. This just has a small hole, and that's going to prevent it from dropping all the way down to the bottom. Then our middle one goes on top again, and at last the very small one. Okay, and this is the cardboard frame of our tree now completed. So now we get on to the exciting part, and we're going to start decorating it and making it look really nice. So in the next lesson we will have a look at how to make the felt that's going to go on the outside of our tree.